First, we have Digimon Up. Digimon Up is free-to-play mobile RPG for Digimon, announced literally last week at DigimonCon 2026, dropping sometime this year on iOS and Android, but there is no PC client yet. The core loop is the classic Digimon: raise, train, and evolve your partner from a Digi-Egg all the way up to Mega Digivolution, with each Digimon having unique traits that add some depth to how you build your team. The whole thing is built around brand new pixel art and integrates familiar stuff like the Digivice and the Digimon card game. So it's leaning hard into nostalgia, and not gonna lie, the sprites from the teaser look really good. The tagline is a Digimon journey that moves with your life, which sounds like it has some kind of daily life integration system, so expect this game to be another, daily mobile gacha game like we all have right now. And the honest reality is there is not much else to go on right now. No release date, no gameplay footage, no gacha details, nothing. It is basically a vibe announcement at this point, but the concept alone, proper monster raising with pixel art, Digivices, and card game elements, it looks pretty good. It got me intrigued, so yeah, keep an eye on this one. Hopefully it's gonna be really good. Next we have Taimanin Squad. Now this is the turn-based tactical RPG from the Taimanin Attack. And yeah, this game is set in Tokyo Kingdom City, an abandoned artificial island a few kilometers off Tokyo that has been completely overrun by demons and criminals. You are commanding a squad of elite ninja warriors called Taimanins, assembling team of 4 and leaning into character synergies and bond skills to push through, to progress. It launches with around 60 characters pulling from across the whole Taimanin franchise. So if you're a fan of the franchise, I think it is good to play this one. But the reception has been rough, it has been mixed. Steam reviews is set on 40%, so yeah, it's not looking that good. Because this game has recycled assets from Action Taimanin, a difficult spike in the later chapters that feels deliberately engineered to push you toward the gacha, and an economy that early players are already calling it predatory. It's essentially a franchise fanservice delivery vehicle with gacha problem stapled on it. So yeah, if you know the IP and if you love it, maybe you will enjoy this, but if you don't, I don't think you will enjoy it that much because this game is quite predatory. Next is Void Hunters. Now this is an early access, they said, but yeah, it is from Artifacts Mundi, a Polish studio known for mobile games like Unsolved and Bladebound, and it's, a free-to-play turn-based hero collector similar to Raid Shadow Legends, for a lack of a better word. Maybe that sets this apart from a standard, gacha game hero collector like this is the roguelite layer baked into the game. Maybe that's pretty much it, It's looking really rough, honestly. I mean, it looks okay. I don't know much about this game. I haven't touched this game, but it is releasing in 2026. But it is still in early access. I don't know how to feel about that for a free-to-play gacha game or a mobile game. But yeah, you can play right now. No release date yet. Monetization details are still, under wraps, and it's very much a work in progress. And as you can see, like the animation, the graphics and whatnot, it's kind of like half-baked, okay? So we'll just have to wait and see, but it is available right now, so that is why I'm putting this game on this list. Next is Neo Artifacts. This one is quite surprising because this is made by Dragoness Games, a tactical SRPG dropping globally, on March 2026, March 5th, 2026, my bad. And the premise is that famous historical artworks, paintings, artifacts, and the whole museum catalog have been turned into playable characters called artifactors. You are the curator. You build a roster out of literal art history and send them into turn-based tactical combat. Yeah, it looks interesting. And the combat itself is positional, synergy-driven SRPG stuff. Nothing that's going on to reinvent the wheel, but it sounds mechanically solid. And the bigger selling point is, of course, the Art to Life system, which ties each character's ability and backstory directly to their source material. So it's not just a skin, the design philosophy is baked into how they actually play. It went through closed beta earlier this year, so at least they are not shipping completely blind, and global version has full English support. That's really good. And not gonna lie, art history as a gacha, it is legitimately a fresh idea, but whether the gameplay holds up is the question. But again, it is different from any other gacha game, so I think it's worth keeping an eye on and play it, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much about Neo Artifacts. 7 Deadly Sins Origin. Yeah, this game has released on Steam, iOS, and Android. It is basically an open world action RPG, same like Genshin Impact and whatnot, but it's set on the 7 Deadly Sins story, where you play as Tristan, son of Meliodas and Elizabeth. Assembling a team, swapping characters mid-combat, yada yada yada, basic stuff, co-op bosses. And the gacha is actually not terrible, as some people say it. No weapon banner, everything is craftable, and you are working with a standard 50-50 system. Launch was a bit rough, there's bugs, sluggish combat, optimization issues, the kind of stuff that makes you wonder if it needed another few months in the oven. But if you are an SDS fan, there is enough to enjoy here, and everyone else has probably already booted up Wuthering Waves instead. Next we have Hololive Dreams, also known as Holodori. This is the first official Hololive mobile game with, rhythm RPG, developed by Holy Arts in collaboration with Cover Corporations. Players can fully enjoy full-fledged rhythm game based on unofficial music videos and live concerts with over 150 songs at launch, including Hololive originals and covers. Over 50 Hololive VTubers appear as collectible characters, which is really cool if you are a fan of Hololive, not me though. Additional features include theme park development, mini games, quests, and an original chart function for custom charts. So I think it's really cool that they make this game for Hololive fans. Dragon Quest Smash or Grow. It is Square Enix's new free-to-play roguelite RPG developed by K-Lab Games. Sorry man, K-Lab Games. Why did I say Key, man? What the heck? Kingdom Key. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. So this is where you are smashing through monster hordes, finishing them up with classic coup de grace attacks, and picking up random blessings each stage that, shake up your build run by run, because this is a roguelite game. But this is also basically a vampire survivor with a Dragon Quest coat of paint, and honestly it's not that bad of a pitch. The gacha is equipment focused, weapons, armor, accessories, and beta impressions suggest that the gameplay loop is quite fun because, vampire survivors is also fun. But the elephant in the room that it is made by Square Enix, and if you know Square Enix, they have a track record for many EOS mobile games like Brave Exvius, Final Fantasy Mobius. I don't know, man. It is really rough from Square Enix. And just be cautious if you want to play this game. I think don't, invest too much on this game. But then again, this looks pretty nice, and I think the gameplay loop is really addicting. Next is Neverness to Everness, or NTE. I know people have been anticipating this game so much, and yeah, it is Hotta Studios' next big swing, the same dev behind Tower of Fantasy, dropping April 29, 2026 on PC and Mac, iOS, Android, and PS5 with full crossplay. So it's basically been described as an anime GTA, and I think that is pretty cool. I haven't played this game, didn't get into the beta because, I'm lazy. So you play as this licensed investigator handling supernatural anomalies in a living urban city called Hesperia, with action combat, character swapping, deep vehicle customization, and a full-fledged lifestyle sim where you can buy apartments, tune cars, and just exist in the city. Better impressions compared to Control cross with GTA, but I don't see it because come on man, don't disgrace Control and GTA with gacha games, okay, please. Oh, the part that's actually turning heads around in the gacha system is NTE ditches the 50-50 PD system. So pull an S rank on limited banner and it is guaranteed to be featured character. The summoning itself works through a dice rolling board minigame instead of just standard pull animation, which is either genius or deeply unhinged depending on your tolerance for gimmicks. And PD sits at 90 pulls, which is standard, not bad, but the no 50-50 thing alone puts it ahead of most of the competition on paper. Production values from the beta were apparently jaw-dropping. Story has cosmic horror energy, and the overall vibe is genuinely different enough to stand out. Man, this game got real potential, but don't forget, Hoda Studio also made Tower of Fantasy, and it sucks. Next is Nekopara Sekai Connect. Now this one is a 2D semi-auto battle RPG and the latest title in the popular Nekopara adventure game series. So this one is a heartwarming neko comedy that connects these felines from all across the globe. It's set in the near future where people live alongside AI created nekos. I don't know why, I think this is gonna be very like Uma Musume, you know. So, okay, let's go back. So yeah, nekos being that look like human, but are just a little bit different. Rumor has it, the winner of the global Neko Festival competition, where nekos and their owners competes for popularity, will be granted any wish by the neko creating AI. You can laugh, cry, and grow closer to your nekos as you uncover the mysteries of the world. But this one was expected to launch in 2025, but the game was delayed and is now planned for release on April 14, 2026. So it's not gonna be long from the time of making this video. So yeah, keep an eye on this one. Next we have Genesis War, also known as the Play of Genesis. Now this one is a line games of all things, and it is just a revival of the legendary Korean 90s SRPG franchise War of Genesis. Now this is a free-to-play 3D turn-based RPG set in the continent of Antaria, following Princess Yolin as she rallies warriors to reclaim her fallen homeland of Pendragon from the Geyser Empire. Featuring 70 characters, over 300 stages, 11 stages, and iconic specialists like Blizzard Storm, all rebuilt with modern visuals while keeping the tactical grid-based DNA of the original intact, including full voice acting for the returning cast. Realistically, this one is laser targeted at Korean gaming nostalgia. I mean, War of Genesis was genuinely legendary in the 90s, and the kind of IP that has people going feral the second they hear the name. So if you have history with the original game, I think this is basically mandatory. But if you're coming in fresh, it's still a solid tactics game with a mountain of content, but you're just missing about 30 years of emotional context, so don't feel bad about it. Paranoise. It's from Zigzag Game, the studio behind Evertale, and it's set in this post-cataclysmic Japan, reshaped by a mysterious object that fell from the sky over a decade ago. You follow a blind swordsman guided by an enigmatic voice, and the whole thing is framed as this cinematic comic RPG with episodic manga style storytelling delivered through fully voice animated sequences. The presentation is genuinely the main selling point. The soundtrack is composed by Naoki Sado, a Japan Academy Award-winning composer known for Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, that guy. And the Japanese voice cast is stacked, man. Gameplay wise, it's monster collecting with turn-based combat, fairly standard stuff. The problem, the gacha is kinda cooked. Heart Pity sits at 500 pulls, doesn't even carry over between banners, and 10 pull costs roughly $40 once free gems run out. Early reviews of this game are already calling it worse than FGO, which is generally an achievement in the wrong direction. The consensus so far is that the presentation is slick, but the game underneath it is basically a vehicle to sell you a webcomic to drain your wallet. I mean, it's worth maybe checking out for the vibes, not worth spending a cent on it. Next is Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy. Now, this is Square Enix's latest attempt, yes, Square Enix again, to do something with the Dissidia brand, and the premise is genuinely unhinged in the best way. Legendary FF protagonists like Cloud, Lightning, Terra, and Zidane have somehow ended up in modern-day Tokyo, hiding their Final Fantasy identities behind stylish streetwear while fighting monsters spawning across the city. It's a reverse isekai, basically, and I dig it. Like, come on, man, Final Fantasy characters in Tokyo with streetwear, stylish stuff, oh my god, it hits really good. Gameplay is a 3v3 team boss battle arena where two teams race to defeat the boss, accumulating brave points by purifying crystals across the arena and using them to deal damage. It's fast, match lengths are apparently 1 to 2 minutes, quite nice for a mobile game, and it is designed entirely around one-handed mobile gameplay. So yeah, a pretty cool game to play when you are shitting. The gacha is split into characters and abilities separately. Ah man, so predatory, with high rarity skills locked to specific characters. Like Cloud's Omni Slash only goes on Cloud. Amazing. The concern is the exact same thing we had with Dragon Quest Smash Bros, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, because Square Enix has genuinely a good track, or maybe a bad track, of shutting down mobile games. And it's hard not to feel burned after Brave Exvius, Opera Omnia, and Nier Reincarnation all went EOS. Early impressions say that the core gameplay loop is fun but kinda thin, and the long-term sustainability is a massive question mark. The IP is incredible, the concept is fresh, and the presentation looks great. I just hope that this game is a AA game or even a AAA game, not this bullshit. Come on, Square Enix, what you doing? So play this game with a grain of salt, not to invest too much on this game, and just have fun along the way. Now this is Mongil Stardive. Now if you're in the scene, you probably have heard this game. Now this game is made by Netmarbles, and yeah, it is their monster taming action RPG built in Unreal Engine 5, serving as a spiritual successor to their 2013 hit Monster Taming, which is really good, like following guild members Cloud and Verna alongside their mysterious cat-like companion as they explore the world of Belana. It's a real-time tag battle system with 3-character party where you swap members mid-combat to execute tag skills and captured monsters. And they're called Monsterlings. And they aren't just collectibles, they get synthesized and equipped to your characters for stat boosts and strategic buffs. Basically imagine Genshin Impact and Pokemon had a baby and it was raised in Unreal Engine 5. Beautiful particles and whatnot. Beta impressions say it looks absolutely stunning in combat, humor carries the story surprisingly well, but the enemy difficulty is practically non-existent and it's like bullet sponges, and the gear system is the same RNG stat spreadsheet every gacha game has since Summoner's War. Come on man, do better! Holy! It launches on April 15, 2026 on PC, iOS, and Android. I mean, the potential of the game is clearly here, and the presentation is legitimately impressive, and the monster taming hook gives it a genuine identity in a very crowded space. But whether Netmarble actually supports it long term is the real question, because their track record with live service game is of course a conversation on its own. And of course, Arknights Anfield. Yeah, this is Hypergrave's massive follow-up to the original Arknights, launching globally January 2026. It's a 3D action RPG with real-time character swapping combat, but the genuinely unexpected part is the factory building system on this game. You're automating production lines and optimizing resources that flows between fights, and it sounds like it should be a disaster on paper, but man, they made it work. And honestly, the factory building system is more fun than the combat itself. I'm not saying that the combat is not fun, but it's just more fun to build the factory. It's crazy. At launch, this game is impressive. It is polished, it is optimized, has clean localization, and minimal bugs, which in the gacha space basically qualifies as a miracle. Hypergraph has done a very good job on this game, and they dropped a free 6-star selector shortly after launch in response to the community feedback, which is exactly the kind of move that buys an enormous amount of goodwill, and that attracts players. But the concern that keeps on coming in the late game reviews is of course the factory and the combat systems can eventually become secondary to the gacha grind. So the stuff that makes it interesting slowly gets overshadowed by the standard live service loop, which is a shame, because the foundation is generally one of the stronger launches this genre has seen in a while. And I gotta admit man, I was so addicted to this game until the story finished, and now I'm not playing it again because yeah, it's just basically the same daily and this and that, and it becomes boring until the next story comes. So yeah, But again, it is still a very fun game. So if you got any history with the original Arknights, this one is basically mandatory, and everything else is still worth a shot, still worth playing, okay? And I think this is, for now at least, a better game than most of the games in this gacha space. So play it right now, I do recommend it, and I know you're gonna have a very fun time with this one. Last but not the least on this list is Star Savior. Now, to my surprise, this is a follow-up to Counter-Strike. This is a turn-based RPG where you play as a captain guiding a roster of star-powered female characters called Saviors through a progression-centric system, and the best way to describe it is Honkai Star Rails meets Uma Musume. Yeah, does that intrigue you? So if it does, then play this game right now. And instead of just pulling characters and throwing them into combat, you guide your saviors through a training simulation cycle where every decision you make directly affects their final stats before they hit the field. Same like Uma Musume! And I think that is the only part that is genuinely interesting and that sets it apart from the original gacha loop or any other gacha games. And the production quality, man, like visuals, story, voice acting, is impressive for a game coming out of a mid-sized Korean studio. The problem is of course the monetization, and it's a big one. If there's one word to describe it, it's hungry, man. It's hungry for your wallet. It actively tells you that you can skip time-based progression by paying. And the vertical investment required feels practically mandatory to progress, which is a shame because underneath that the game is clearly well made. But it is heavily compromised by the lame progression system that seems more interested in charging you than letting you actually enjoy it. Worth a look for the concept alone. Just go in with your wallet firmly in your pocket. Don't spend anything on this game, but it is a quite fun game. So that's pretty much it. 15 games releasing in 2026. I mean gacha games. But do let me know if I missed something. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. Bye guys.